On KIK-FM 107, that is Neil Young from his new rockabilly album, Everybody's Rocking, with the Payola Blues and an oldie called Mystery Train. Now we've got a band called the Lords of the New Church. They put out their debut album last year, and it was well received here in Calgary. Played it a lot on KIK, and they've come back with a new mini album, 3-song album here, and they've revived an oldie that, well, I guess if you're in your mid-20s or older, you'll probably remember this song quite well. It was originally done by the Grassroots. Remember them? The song is called Live for Today. This is the Lords of the New Church on Fresh Cuts on KIK-FM 107. On KIK-FM 107, that's Live for Today, redone by the Lords of the New Church, featuring Stiv Bators, formerly of the Dead Boys, on vocals. Still to come tonight, the new Kansas album, a Canadian band called Orphan, formerly the Pumps, and next, the new Yaz LP. Last August 25th, to be exact, KIK first played you the Yaz song Situation on this show, Fresh Cuts. In the following months, the song Situation and the eventually released album Upstairs at Eric's became huge Calgary favorites. So much so that after about 4 or 5 months, even Calgary's conservative radio stations were pressured into playing Yaz too. Calgary became Yaz's biggest market in Canada, with Calgary buying over 30% of all the Yaz sold in Canada. That's pretty impressive. So who are Yaz? Well, they're a British duet consisting of Vince Clarke, formerly of Depeche Mode, on keyboards, and Alison Moyet, better known as Alf, a female blues and R&B singer. We now have their second album. It's called You and Me Both. A few weeks back, we featured the EP for you. And I think people who enjoyed the synthesized rhythmic dance feel that was present on Upstairs at Eric's are going to be just as pleased with this new release. This is Yaz and Sweet Thing on Fresh Cuts on KIK-FM 107. On KIK-FM 107, the unmistakable plinks of Yaz, and that's Walk Away from Love, Good Times, and Sweet Thing, all from the new album, You and Me Both. Coming up next, a brand new Scottish band called Big Country. You're listening to Fresh Cuts, and I'm Jaime Wohl. We have 2 bands that come from other bands to listen to now. First, Big Country, a band led by Stuart Adamson, formerly of another Scottish band called The Skids. The new album is called The Crossing. The band is Big Country, and the song is In a Big Country. The other band is Orphan, who are formerly the Pumps from Winnipeg. 2 of the old Pumps are with the band, and 2 are new. Their album is called Lonely at Night, and we'll hear the title cut right after we listen to Big Country on KIK-FM 107. Shut! KIK-FM 107 with Orphan from Winnipeg. They used to be called the Pumps, and from their new album Lonely at Night, we heard What Kind of Love Is This and the title track. And ahead of that, Big Country with In a Big Country. Still to come tonight, the new Kansas album. Kansas is an American group who came together in 1974 under the guidance of Don Kirshner. That's a familiar name. He's the guy who also brought us the Monkees and the Archies. But Kansas was his first legitimate foray into rock. Kansas has been pretty successful over the years, especially in 76 and 77, with their albums Left Overture and Point of No Return. Last year, their singer Steve Walsh left the band, and he was replaced by John Elefant. The resulting album, Vinyl Confessions, was pretty much a bomb. But now I think the newly reformed Kansas has gotten it a bit more together. They sound a little more cohesive on this album, and they sound like they're more used to playing together. The record is called Drastic Measures, and from it this is called Fight Fire with Fire. Kansas on KIK-FM 107. KIK-FM 107 with new Kansas that's going through the motions, mainstream, and Fight Fire with Fire, all from the new album Drastic Measures. And only time will tell whether or not Kansas will become important once again in rock. Still to come on weeks to come, we have new releases in store for us, lots of good ones. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, this is a very rich season for new music. We have a new Southside Johnny album called Trash It Up. And apparently he's going to cover one of the old Rascals songs on that one. Eddie Money's new one is almost ready. It's called Where's the Party? Dave Davies of the Kinks will put out another solo album. The Tom Tom Club of Splinter of Talking Heads has an album called Close to the Bone, due any day now. Tim Finn of Split Enz has released a single from his album Escapade, but the whole thing is due soon. Oingo Boingo, big band from California, has another album coming soon, as does Howard Devoto, formerly of Magazine. Bette Midler has, believe it or not, a rock album coming for us called No Frills. The Moody Blues will have a new release soon called Present. J.J. Cale's 8th album, imaginatively titled 8, will be out soon. And we have a new AC/DC album called Flick of the Switch coming later on this month. I'm Jaime Wohl. Thanks for listening. Join me again next Wednesday night for another Fresh Cuts.